having a conversation this morning on the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities. Now, the 3rd of December this year commemorates the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities, and we're looking at the disability inclusion in society. Now, I've been joined on the set this morning by Joseph Achu Homazi. He's the president of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, and he himself is visually impaired. We also have here Moses Fojo, the manager, M&E manager of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Gentlemen, you're both welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now, let's get right into it. What's the current state of persons living with disabilities in terms of Ghana's handling of persons living with disabilities? Any of you can take it. Let me start with you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. We want to thank Citi TV and the management for giving us this opportunity. With due respect, let me do a small correction. It's not persons living with disability, but persons with disability.
Persons with disabilities.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much. The current situation of persons with disability in Ghana is not, I would say, it's not the best for now.
Okay.
Even though we are making some headways, there's more room for improvement because there are a lot of challenges and difficulties, societal barriers, social-cultural barriers, preventing us from participating fully in the mainstream activities.
Okay.
So many societal barriers, and that's the state in which we find ourselves when it comes to education, when it comes to health, when it comes to employment, when it comes to cultural beliefs. A lot of negative cultural beliefs against us. In some communities, they don't want to see people with albinism. They don't want to see them because it's a taboo.
Yeah.
So this is the fate of persons with disability in Ghana, and human right, the rights of persons with disability are always undermined.
Yes.
Legislations and policies are always there, but the application of them to address these issues, persons with disability, is also a problem. So, in summary, it is not the best for now, even though we appreciate the effort the state is making to address some of our problems, and all other stakeholders are making to address our problem. We appreciate all those efforts, but to answer your question directly,
there's still a lot to do.
There is a lot more to do, and I want to take this opportunity to call upon all stakeholders, partners, donors, government, and everybody to come on board to support us to address our issues concerning persons with disability for total inclusion in the development, in the national development of this country. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, what would you say some of the positive strides that have been made in this space so far, Moses?
Thank you so much. Again, like I said, we commend the state for making some strides for us.
Yeah.
In the first place, the Disability Act was enacted in 2006, which is good. Disability policy was also developed in 2000, which is also good. There's this common fund, also for persons with disability. We also appreciate that. Persons with disability, workers with disability, disability workers, they are also enjoying some GAD allowance, disability allowance. We appreciate all those things. So those are some of the strides that have been made. And we want to take this opportunity to commend Ghana Education Service because they are our major employer.
Okay.
They employ a lot of persons with disability in teaching field.
Okay.
So we commend them for that. And some other few agencies also employ persons with disability. Okay. So we also commend all these people. Yeah. So these are some of the strides made. But like I said, there are more to be done.
Okay. Moses, now, this year, is there any special, way you're celebrating or commemorating the day?
Okay, good. All right, so thank you very much. Let me also add my voice to the president in thanking Citi TV. We do recognize you as one of our key partners and allies in this space of promoting disability inclusion. Just before I come to that, something I also want to add to what the president has said. I think over the years, in the past 2 decades or so, we will say significantly on the part of persons with disabilities, it is quite encouraging that they are coming out and voicing their concerns, and for society to hear, the issues and the challenges that they are going through. In the past, it's not been the case, and it's also because they have been living in communities where there are not safe spaces for them to speak out on some of these issues. So people with disabilities coming out, they are going to school, they are getting the education. That is quite encouraging, and we cannot overlook that itself. Now, you asked about this year.
Yes.
This year's theme, as we all know, the United Nations has asked the whole world to focus on the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes.
The reason being that back in July of this year, the UN did a report on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And it is becoming obvious that the agenda for achieving growth, shared prosperity for all by the year 2030 will likely not be achieved, because a number of the targets and goals that have been set are off track.
Okay.
And so for us in the disability space, this is very crucial because we realize that for every society, if there is a lack of progress on development, the people who suffer the brunt most are the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities. So this year's theme is captured as rescuing the Sustainable Development Goals with the involvement of persons with disabilities, by persons with disabilities, and for persons with disabilities.
Super.
So it is an attempt to draw attention to the fact that, look, when there is lack of progress in any form, be it in education, in science education, health, whatever, it is persons with disabilities who are most affected in this sector. So that is the focus for this year.
All right. So will there be any special event?
Yes. So the lineup of events is that we, as we know, the 3rd December is actually falling on Sunday. And so there wouldn't be that much, but across the country, persons with disabilities, organizations of persons with disabilities, and a lot of civil society organizations will be doing some actions.
Fantastic.
But the climax of it will be on Monday, on the 4th, where we are hoping to have a procession to present a petition to the ministry responsible for disability affairs. And the focus of that petition is to draw the ministry's attention to the fact that there is a very important agenda on their table which they must expedite action on, which is that there's a need to review the Disability Act 715 to be in compliance with the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So aside from that presentation, then from 2 o'clock onwards on Monday, there will be a panel discussions. And one of the keynote addresses will be delivered by
Where is it going to be happening?
This is going to be happening at the Nat Hall. And it's going to be, the keynote address will be delivered by the UN Resident Coordinator, Charles Abani. So all the partners will be in there, on that day.
All right. Thank you. We've been speaking this morning with Joseph Achuhomazi. He is the president of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, and then also Moses Fojo. He's the M&E manager of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. Thank you very much for coming through